It real right here on 3FM 92.7. My name is AJ Kwako Sapon, and it's a pleasure to bring you another exciting edition of the show. This show is the one that gets bold, witty, intelligent men and women talking about the real issues in their lives, relationships, business, and everything else inclusive. And today is also another exciting one. I do this usually with a lovely lady called Helen and Miss Judy. Helen is not with us, but Miss Judy is here. Hi, Miss Judy. How are you?
Yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I know. We missed you last week. We really did. But it's nice to have you this week.
Thank you.
You look nice.
Thank you.
There's something different. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, we'll find out. But we're also joined by a gentleman and a lovely lady. Sir Godwin Edu Afo, or God Afo, is a lecturer, author, and memory trainer. I'm actually really interested to know what a memory trainer is. Hi, God Afo. You want to be called God Afo, yes? Okay. Hi, God Afo. Wait, what is a memory trainer?
All right, that's good. I know you asked. It's something new. Yes, so memory trainer is basically somebody who can train somebody to improve their memory.
Okay.
And again, memory trainer is also a mind trainer.
Okay.
You can also train somebody to improve their mind.
Ooh,
So
that sounds...
If you have a child that is struggling with learning, studying...
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay.
we could show him some of the techniques to improve the memory.
Okay.
You know, it's
That's actually sounds quite exciting.
I propagate what we call neuroplasticity.
Okay.
Which means the brain is plastic.
Okay.
You know, it's flexible.
Okay.
So once we understand it, we can always improve any time.
And then
regardless
it's
of your
according to our
age.
will.
You know,
Okay.
so
Okay.
nobody's dumb.
Okay.
That's my phrase.
Okay. Everyone just needs small training, small
if
pay.
you get the training,
And then you're good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Also joining us, we have a banker and media practitioner, Pastor Glory Boateng. Hi, Pastor Glory. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good.
It's nice to have you here.
Nice to see
How's your week been? I'll start with you, Pastor Gloria. Glory, sorry.
A day in the life of a banker. Is very
I can imagine. So it's a lot of numbers, getting customers satisfied. Like literally, you're running around the clock.
Attention.
Yes,
You don't get to
and
get
doing
on
a
the
million and
lot,
one things at the
sit
same
down,
time.
like,
Charlie.
for long
Yeah.
hours.
You do. You try. How has your week been, Godafo?
Yeah, it's been. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, it feels like.
Yeah,
It feels like half the
my
week has gone
weekend was
already.
really hectic.
Okay.
Quite tiring. So
Okay.
I had to rest a little bit on Monday,
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes. Today,
Also, you rested. Oh, good for you.
Because I work.
How I wish.
I do lectures on weekends.
Okay.
So
Mondays are your sleep
my
days.
resting
Oh,
period,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So,
Makes sense.
I'm starting the week.
Also, you put the week. Oh, how I wish I could start my week on
Mine is
Tuesdays.
changing.
Yeah. Miss Jude, how's your week been? Have you had much of a weekend or rest?
Nah.
Yeah.
It's doing back to back.
Yeah, because I've seen productions that I'm like,
You don't get to rest,
this is
but
all you.
Sometimes it's fun also.
Yeah.
You meet all these personalities
Yeah.
like you. And
Oh wow! Why? Thank you.
it's fun. But yeah, it's so stressful. This family and everything.
It can be a lot, but hopefully this week will even be better. Fingers and toes crossed. But today we're touching on a very sensitive topic. Will you donate a kidney to save your spouse, your man, your woman, someone you're in a relationship with, or someone you're married to? We have an interesting dilemma of someone who's facing something similar, but I'd love to hear from you first. Have you ever heard, seen, encountered this scenario in some way, shape, or form, Pastor Glory?
Yes, thank you so much, AJ. Good evening to our listeners. Yes, so it was actually a short video I saw on Instagram that spoke about how, they were in a relationship and the guy had an issue and the lady needed to donate one of her kidneys. You know, the kidneys are two. So she needed to donate one. And just after she donated successfly, the guy came back, now on his feet with all the swag and all that. Started talking to other girls. Yeah, it was a very short video. Started talking to other girls and all of that. So the lady was in pain, broke up with her and all of that because now he's back on his feet and all that.
Charlie, that one, the kind of thunder that is pressing up to fire you.
But eventually the kidney failed. So we don't know. The story ended in some way. So I was like, is it the unhappiness of the lady?
Oh yeah, it will turn out because it used to be in her body. If you made her cry, it will torment you in your own body.
So he went back to the hospital again.
His God will save him. Oh, Godafo, have you encountered or heard or seen any sort of stories like that?
Not really. Not really. But if I could touch on what Pastor talked about, why the kidney failed. If you bring it to the mind, usually it could be habit.
You never really changed
if you get into it, never changed. If you get into medical, if you tackle from medical perspective, some things could cause that. So once that became a habit, he got a new kidney, but he couldn't move away from that. He got into the same habit. Usually when you go past 35, it becomes difficult for you to change. 90% of the things you do is just habit. So they go back to the same situation, and you find yourself in that mad again. So yes, it could be the cause. It could be the cause.
Miss Jure, have you seen this in any way, shape or form?
I think in movies.
Yes.
We watch all those movies that either the guy, they live happily after, or both of them die together and leave the kids to suffer together and all that. So we've seen it in all sort of forms. But I think we all wish for happy endings.
Won't we? Well, let's get into our story for today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm currently facing a dilemma. So I've been with my boyfriend for the last 5 years, and we're planning to get married this year if everything goes well. Last year, my boyfriend began getting ill after running several tests and getting specialists to attend to him. We discovered that it's a kidney ailment, and he needed to begin dialysis. It's been a tough year getting treatment and looking after him. However, the specialists are now considering kidney transplant as an option. I randomly happened to check and realize that we were a match. I was excited and planned to break the news to him that I wanted to be his donor. I confided to my sister about my plan to donate my kidney, and she immediately shut me down. She told me I was a fool to consider giving my kidney to someone I wasn't married to and isn't guaranteed to stay with me. She went on to add that even his own siblings are not considering giving him their kidney, and me, a mere girlfriend, is trying to do so. This has led me to seriously reconsidering my decision. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. Do I donate my kidney and hope he will appreciate and stay with me, or rather convince family to do so instead? Am I doing the right thing, even considering this at all? So yes, someone who is at the cusp of donating to a man who is not her spouse as of yet, has no legal binding to her. But she's hoping that this will be a test of love. He will be hale and hearty. He will be with her forever, and they'll live happily ever after. Her family member, her sister, is telling her that she should drop the scales out of her eyes and see the reality that this is a situation that could go south very quickly. Now, should she even consider doing it at all? Is a big question today. And would you or should you in the position consider doing it either for someone you're dating or for your spouse? I think when it comes to spouse, it's a little easier to say yes.
So
I'm going to do it.
Would have been straightforward.
Straightforward, it's easy. But someone you're considering making your spouse. This one, we are almost spouse.
A good spouse.
That one too is true. A good spouse. Like we put it on social media, we'll go into some comments. Someone says it depends on also how they got this ailment. Is it self-inflicted? Was it their habit that led them to going down this path? And if it's their habit, should I be the one to pay for it? But that's a different matter altogether. But the question is, should she now consider doing what she thought is the right thing for someone who she's not yet legally binded to? Godwin?
All right, okay, let me go first. It's a tough one, because I looked into. I'm not a doctor, but I looked into donating kidneys. What are the effects and all that? Yes, it's possible to live with one kidney. We call it solitary kidney. You know, you because I know God is so powerful. That's how come he did things in pairs.
Yeah.
So once you've got two, you can give somebody one and still live with one and still be a fully functioning human being.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, you can. But the problem is this, they're not married yet. You know, so if you're doing this as a test of love, then you need to be very careful. Anything could happen, you know, because, you know, there's he's not under any obligation. You know, there's no agreement yet. So once you do that, he could change his mind anytime. You know, the movie that, was it a movie or what's...
It was a short video.
Oh, okay, so if we could tie that to that, you know, what really happened, the guy changed his mind, you know, and if so, for me, it's two things. If you are doing this, it could be for love and also be for helping somebody. You know, so if you are religious, so probably you love to help other people. You may have actually done it for somebody. Maybe they are not your girlfriend or fiance, but you may have actually done it for them. So it depends on where you stand. But if you are doing it for the sake of love, for the sake of, you know, bonding, then you have to be very careful. Anything could happen. You know, you may be disappointed. You know, yes, in the long run, you may be disappointed. You know, but if you are doing it for love, for the God that lives in that person, you know, I keep saying this one because I've been disappointed many times. You know, you do things for other people, they come back and pay you back differently. You know, so now what I do is when I do something for you, I've done it for the God in you, not you. You know, because you can disappoint me anytime. And when you have that mindset, it's tied to emotional intelligence. When they disappoint you, you don't feel it that much. You know, yes. So if they are doing it for the love, doing it for the God in them, then when that happens, they won't be disappointed. And again, if you could see in that light, when you do things for other people, there are some chemicals that are released in you called oxytocin. So you may feel better, you know, having saved a life, you know. So if you want to go on that route, then you need to give it a good name. If you give it a good name, no matter what happens, you'll still be okay. Yes, but if you are doing it because you want to tie him down to something, you know, to get him to marry you, because once you've given you have my kidney.
Exactly. I am bound to you forever.
You've got my kidney now, so we are together, you know. You may be disappointed. So yes, it's a tough one. They need to think about it. And then again, if you go into medicine, if you leave a one kidney, yes, it's possible, but there are other side effects.
Wow.
You know, so when I read, you know, you may have high chance of getting high blood pressure. You know, even how you're...
And even as a woman with one, and you'd hope to have kids, and I'm assuming at that point she hasn't had kids. So it will become another medical issue altogether to be able to,
Yes, and it's not easy to also have a kidney from somebody, you know, so you may have to think about it deeply.
A bit more.
And know why you want to do that, you know, so that's what I'll say for now.
Now, real story, even a celebrity, so Selena Gomez. She's an American celebrity, actress and singer, and her best friend at a point in time, they were both Disney stars. In 2017, her best friend donated her kidney to Selena. And a few years later, they stopped talking to each other. And in fact, she did a documentary recently about her journey over the last 6 years, which included the surgery. And she spoke nothing about the girl that gave her a life-changing kidney. And in fact, so apparently, her unhealthy lifestyle. So she reverted back to an unhealthy lifestyle, excessive drinking, that would damage the kidney. So she got angry and she said, I've made a sacrifice for you. Like, the least you can do is take care of what I've given you. And that led to them having issues, and then they stopped talking to each other. Like, literally put herself at risk only for the person to stop talking to her. So then it's possible, Pa. But let me come to you, Pastor Glory. What are your thoughts about this story and the dilemma that this lady is in?
Thank you, AJ. So when I read the story, I mean, studying law has given me sort of a leeway to breaking down issues. And I noticed that when she started narrating her story, she talked about how they are planning on getting married. You didn't know whether they've gotten to the stage of meeting the families. You know, there are some men who just feel like I have intentions of marrying you, but hasn't even made an effort to see your parents or anything.
Exactly.
So we don't know what stage she's actually gotten to with the man in terms of the planning stage. Is it the buying of the kente that they've done so far? To what extent have they gone? And when women are in love, we can do anything.
Yes.
When women are in love, the mere fact that you have discussed marriage with me means that you are marrying me. And for us, we may consider it as part of the planning, but there's more to it. I think that the mere fact that they have decided to marry doesn't warrant that eventually they'll get married. Aside that, she said that when the guy got married, she quickly went to check if they match. You know, women want to be like Jesus Christ.
We want to be nice.
We want to die again for the Lord. Exactly. When Jesus has done it for us.
Oh
I'm not sure she even got to a place because she didn't state it in the story. I honestly think that if she got to a place of engaging the man's family, then we could have even been able to identify if an uncle could match
or not.
So she quickly my boyfriend needs a kidney.
I'm going to check.
I'm going to check. And this is the time to prove my love. So she went to check and then voila.
We are matched.
So I'm given. That is not how we go about things. But her statements can also be as a result of many things. I'm asking myself whom and how the guy has been in the relationship. So I have a very, very practical example. I didn't want to use it, but I'm not going to say where the thing happened or I engaged. But I attended a certain wedding. And when I attended the wedding, they are both Christians. You know, they both, one teaches in the Sunday school, the other also is a music minister and all that. So they get married, and 3 months down the line, someone that knows both of them and knows me tells me that I need you to engage in prayer. And I'm saying, what is going on? But the good thing is that before it happened, just when I went for the wedding, the following day, in the nights, I had a dream and I saw something very interesting. So I told the person that she should tell the lady that she should stay up in prayer, because then I understood what the dream connotes, So 3 months, I'm told that the man that married the lady that we know is seriously sick. And he has, I think it's a kidney something, where his system is failing him and all of that. And yes, we even did 3 days fasting and all of that for her. But I also got the information that at a point when the marriage was so close, she was aware that the guy was sick and it's a 50-50 something, or probably an 80-20.
But she went ahead with it because she loved him.
And then maybe she had hope. I don't know.
That things will work
Women,
out.
we can hold on to some hope. Exactly. So she had hope that God will perform a miracle. And of course, God knows what he's doing. He has a bigger plan anyway. So eventually, about 4 months or something, or just into the 4th month, the guy died. Yeah, so 3 months into marriage, the guy dies. And yes, so we went to the funeral and all of that. But she knew the guy was very sick before the wedding, but she still went ahead to do it. So we are asking ourselves that the lady in question engaged with the relatives of the family. And I saw something very interesting that we ladies, we do a lot, especially church girls. We are so empathetic that we are always using our emotions for everything because we ought to be good. The Bible says in Proverbs 31 that her husband safely trusts in her. So for us, we need to demonstrate the mentality of a Proverbs 31 woman. And one of the mentalities is that we are constantly doing good so that our husband will trust in us. So we are asking ourselves, she said that she was the one even taking care of the guy.
Wow.
Where it's in the story.
Well, yes, true. Yes.
So we get to ask ourselves, where are the relatives?
True.
Of the guy when he was that sick?
Yeah.
It's a kidney we're talking about. Where are they? That I was taking care of him, and yes, we will take care of him. But looks like she was doing it alone.
Yeah, and
she
also
said that financially,
even family has not jumped at the opportunity to give a kidney. So who are you? Who are your girlfriend? Where do you come through?
And you could see her sister was talking the end result of her sister's conversation was because she's privy to more information than is stated in there. You could obviously know that she asked, you know, but there's no family. So it is not the donation that is the problem. For me, it's who the guy is. For me, it's always who the guy is. Women, we are givers. Yeah. We give. You know, you pour into us, we also give back to you. Yeah. You give us a sperm, we are giving you beautiful kids. You give us wonderful home, we are giving you. You treat us, we are giving you a wonderful home. You support our dreams and vision. We are also standing with you and all of that. So, how has the guy been? Who has the guy been? Has she been so much in love that she never paid attention to who he is in terms of character? Because women, we are like that, and we always think that we can change the men. Listen, there's little you can do about somebody unless the person is willing to, or unless the person is teachable. So I want us to consider who the guy has been, how he has been, and maybe we'd also want to look at some characters that the girl should start reminiscing about, and then to be able to know that, okay, he deserves it because so he did this for me for 5 years. He has been like this. Come on, I have 2 kidneys. I can give him one.
Okay, makes sense. Coming to you, Miss Jude.
I'm totally confused. but let me take it from the biblical side, even though she mentioned something like that. You know, when the people asked Jesus that who is a neighbor, he went ahead to explain that it's someone basically, it's not a friend, it's someone you can meet on the street and you can show kindness to the person. I want to take this from the heart point of view, as he said. Okay. What would Jesus do in this situation? Would I help a stranger in need if I am capable of doing that? We are all here to help each other. Jesus died on the cross, all right? But we have to put human faces to things. We need to help each other to survive. He gave us 2 kidneys. True. Possibly for us to help others in need. Possibly. Yeah. This is a guy you dated for 5 years. Not enough because marriage even breaks up. True. I will not rush to do it for a lover. I rush to do it because the person deserves it to live. The person deserves a second chance on this earth. That is the only reason I'm going to do that. Because if I'm going to give it to you because I love you so much, I know that at one point you're going to hurt me. And I'm going to tell you, you have my kidney. Yeah. I will constantly refer you to the fact that you have something
of mine that is keeping you alive.
Exactly. And that will not make the love flourish. So if I am going to even try to give you that, it's basically because of a human face. I'm being the child of God that God put me on earth to be, not because you dated me or anything.
Okay. Now let's look at the dynamics if it was to twist into a spouse asking a spouse for it. In the situation that it is a married couple where one spouse, maybe the man, maybe the woman, needs a kidney and the other spouse is in a position to give a kidney, does the dynamics change? Do you have to take certain things into consideration before you do it for a spouse? And what are some of those things? Who want to take it?
Okay, all right, that's fine. I think for married couples, then obviously has to be yes. Yes, once
immediate yes.
Me, once is
even if he's treating you badly.
No, once there's a bond, you know, if you understand marriage, it's a different ball game. I think we usually don't understand it. Quite recently, I understood marriage, you know, more. It's a strong bond. You know, that's how come, you know, for me, the greatest book ever written is the Bible. You know, that's how come it says the 2 shall be one. So if you understand this, then obviously the 2 of you are one. That's obviously your better half. So if your better half is not functioning properly, you are not functioning properly.
Yes, coming to that.
Yeah,
yes. What if that person is not a better one, but a better one?
Yeah, so for me, like, it's like I said, you could do it for somebody who it might not even be your husband or probably your wife, you know, for the sake of doing something good.
Really?
You know, yes. You have people donate their kidneys to other people. Random they don't even know them, but they give them their kidneys. So for me, if you have that agreement, you know, as a wife and a husband, obviously, if I should put myself in their shoes, I would have done it. You know, if my wife needed it, I would have done it. You know, to help her. You know, because we are one. If she's struggling, I'm struggling. Whatever happens to her happens to me. You know, so with that mindset, yes, I'll give her that support.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But again, I'm saying, like Miss Judy was talking about, once you do it, you need to remember this. You can't tie them to that sacrifice, because you can't always be disappointed. You know, so it comes back to my early submission. You are doing it for the God in them, not for them.
Okay.
You know, so no matter what happens, you live on. Again, if you do something for somebody, remember this: progress is what brings sustainability. So it's not you just giving the kidney that will basically ensure that they will take care of you and everything is done and dusted. No, you need to work on that. That becomes a foundation. So you need to do more. You know, people want to see new things, you know, so that there will be progress. So yes, you've given your kidney. What else are you doing for them?
Right.
You know, so you need to keep doing things for them just to, you know, bring progress. But if you tie that everything to the sacrifice, you know, I've done enough for you. I've done my part, so I'm expecting you to also do your part.
Okay.
That wouldn't work.
Okay.
You know, so if you tackle from that point, that is what you should do. But I'm not saying I don't think everybody will do it. Some people, like you said, have been a little bit embittered.
I'll get into another story very shortly.
You know,
That's what
so yes, looking at you, they might even wish you dead. You know, wish you dead, and now you've got this problem.
Yeah.
They won't help you. They're even praying you die.
That's true.
You know,
That's
so
God has brought me goodness.
yes. So for them,
It's time for the tyrant to
that's
go.
good news. You know, they will show you pepper. You know, but if you handle it from, like I said, it's always good to do good. I brought it to science. If you do good for other people, it releases chemicals to you, makes you feel good. If you see somebody doing well because you help them, anytime you see that, it makes you feel good. That oxytocin is released in you, and it makes you live healthy. You know, that's how come it says, do not grow weary in doing good.
True.
You know, so if you tackle from that point, it's good. But if you handle it from that other angle, you are embittered, you hold on to that, you harbor hatred, this is what happens. Your level of cortisol will go up. And when it goes beyond some level, it will bring you sickness. You know, so look at both sides. You know, you at some point you can't believe in somebody who is sick all the time. You know, you could basically help them. They run the checks. You are a match. You know, usually when you are blood zero, O, you can't donate.
Okay.
You know, O can give to everybody.
Yeah.
A, B can receive from everybody. Usually when it's A and B, then it makes it a little bit difficult.
Okay.
So you've seen that you are O, you can give to everybody, and you've seen somebody die in your room, in your house. You know, that also brings some burden on you.
Okay.
You know, so you need to. It's tough. I wouldn't say it's easy. You know, like how we're saying it. You know, if you are faced with the reality.
It's a completely different ball game.
Completely different ball game.
You know what? Let me get into this one. A second story that came a little earlier today that I was a little curious about, but you know, since we've entered at this point, let's get into it. All right. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. So I have been married to my spouse for the last 12 years. We have 2 kids together. I will not say the last 12 years have been happy, as he has not been the best of spouses. He was an alcoholic. He occasionally was a bit violent with me. However, I tried to make it do because my family and I personally do not believe in divorce. So I've stayed with him through thick and thin. Over the last year, he developed a kidney ailment and has been going over through dialysis and hoping that he would be in line for a transplant. The process is becoming a little longer, so they are now looking at those who can be able to give out their kidneys, of which either family or close family members can be able to do so. I and 2 of his family members have matched to him. However, everyone is saying that since I am his wife, I am the mother of his children, I should be the one to give out my kidney. Unfortunately, I do not want to do this. I understand that I need to because he's a father to my children, but I know that his lifestyle has brought him this issue. Not to mention, he's been a really bad husband. He's cheated on me. He's beaten me.
Wow.
And he's been drunk and violent a number of times in our marriage. I've never really enjoyed the marriage, even though I know I chose to be with him. So I'm not really jumping at opportunity to give him my kidney. However, I know the whole world will come for me if I don't. I'm at a dilemma. I do not know what to do. Should I do the right thing and give him my kidney, or should I just choose to ignore?
What shows that doing the right thing is giving the kidney to the person?
He said she should do good, right?
No, I get it, but it's the statement she made that.
I think the right thing is to keep the father of your children alive.
No, but
You would hope that that's the right
we
thing.
have kids, so if I go into this surgery and I die, we are leaving the kids behind without a backup plan.
So you should let him rather go. You should take confidence.
I mean, but what he's saying that she should do good, I think she should be doing it.
She should take confidence in.
Because both of them, I like the way they're talking about doing good and doing good. So good is knocking on your door.
They are too good.
Okay.
This is a bad good.
The bitter half side of it. I'm going to let's wait in line. You are in line already. Let's wait in
Let's
line.
wait. Let's hope that will come.
This one,
Until then.
I would assume the kids would lose both of us. So wait in line.
So that another donor will come around. That will not be me.
Exactly.
Or maybe she should convince the family. But family members don't want to do it.
They don't want to do it, but you're thinking I should do it because of kids.
Because you are the mother of his children. But let me come to you, Pastor Glory.
All right.
In this situation, this is the direct opposite. This is a woman that really doesn't want to give her kidney because he's been a bad husband. And we've seen situations where men somehow expect their woman to always come through for them, even though they've been terrible husbands,
Jesus.
terrible fathers, terrible husbands, but the woman must always be in the crack and then fix it all. Now, what does she do?
I mean, when my sister and brother were talking about the doing good, I'm like, the word of God is a two-edged sword. It cuts here and then it cuts there. The same Bible. So when they were talking, all I had in my spirit was in Matthew 7:6. The Bible talks about, says, do not give that which is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, for they will trample them under their feet and turn and tear you into pieces. So you always need to ask yourself and ask God. Number one, ask God, what should I do in this situation? Number two, ask yourself, who is this person I'm about to do good for? But when you brought the context of they being married, now they are consummated and now it's a covenant. So the Bible talks in the book of Ephesians 5:25-29. So it says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her, and he might sanctify, having cleansed and all of that. So if in this case the woman admits to the fact that this man hasn't loved her as Christ loved the church.
He hasn't.
I am bringing this in because I've had my colleagues really, bring in the Bible. So I want to chip in
Quote
that
it, my
as
sister.
well.
Quote
Yes.
it.
So you want to ask yourself, who has the man been to you? For a man, it says that do not give that which is holy to dogs.
Do not cast your pearls.
And then when he finished, he said, do not throw away your pearls. That which is precious to you, AJ, do not give it to pigs. You bath a pig, the pig will quickly shake the body.
And then go back
Same
to
as
the
dog. Shake the body like, and then just go and dive into the mud. And you're asking me, I just
literally just showered you,
under the tap. Why are you doing this? To me, it is not them. It is their mental framework. Are you going to ask yourself that, is this person worthy of my kidney? Even though it is marriage, but you also want to consider other things. For me, it will be for such a man, I will do it for him. But I would also want to find out, is there a family member that can do it? Do we have to literally ask all family members if they will do it? I will be the last resort because I am God-fearing. Because in the beating, in the maltreatment, I never left. In the cheating, I never left. In the olden days, one of the only reasons you could leave your marriage was when the person cheated on you. You never left. It means that you had a staying power. And whatever your excuse were or was and is, you are still in the marriage. And the situation has come. And so you also want to ask yourself that when you go for a medical checkup, are you in good standing to give one to the man?
Sure.
Knowing that you have kids to take care of. A man who is always drinking alcohol, beating you up. We don't know
What
the
shows
perfect
that
example.
when you give him, he will not go back to the same lifestyle.
And then he might even end up bringing the woman to the next woman's side
wait,
to the
you know,
house.
when you're going through all those struggles, you pray to God to either remove you from the situation or show you the way.
The
I'm
Lord
gonna
is
assume
removing
that-
you.
Exactly.
I
The
like
Lord
that.
is
Take
removing
him
me from
away.
I'm not giving you that.
It's time for him to go.
Yeah, so there
You
are so
can't
many
leave, so
things.
he will.
Exactly. There are so many things to consider. But in marriage, AJ, if she didn't leave and stayed in, and now it has
and
happened.
she prayed, and God has
she's-
answered
and,
her
and if
prayer.
she's God
That's
fearing,
not how God answers.
then AJ, she would have to do it.
Hey,
If she didn't leave, because all the things you've said, me, I would have
Gone.
probably because
because at what point do
you
you
are beating
stay?
me up. What energy will I get to take care of the
Thank
kids?
you.
Want to finish me? I will not. I can't die to live. We live to die. You can't die. You cannot kill me. You know. So I would consider so many things, but because of the fear of God, you know, I may eventually. But that would be my last resort. That we comb the entire family members and we couldn't get anybody to match you, then I'd consider, and that also would also be that I'm medically in good standing,
To be
and when the
able to-
doctor checked and everything, if I give you one, I'm so fine, I can be there for my children.
You know, the one reason that I would not give is because of a statement he made.
Yeah.
That you have to give it from a good heart.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I don't want to leave looking at this man with regret. Because he might go back to the drinking and beating me and everything. I'm always going to think that I gave you this kidney. You are alive because of me. So why this? And the bad energy I'm going to give you is either going to cause our death or something. I'm not going to give you the kidney because I'm not in a good place to do that. Energy wise. I
Makes
can't.
sense. Makes sense.
Energy.
Makes sense.
Nah.
Because you literally isn't there a saying that says give you have to be a cheerful giver.
Yeah, the cheerful
and if
giver.
I'm not a cheerful giver, if the mere concept.
If you didn't give it from a good heart, you haven't done anything.
David
Eh,
also
so
say
then,
that.
then let me
I
not
would
do
not
it
do
I'm
there.
only doing this because
So-
you are my husband.
So what you need to do is, if you want to give it, then you need to find a way. Like I'm saying, everything happens here.
Godwin, if you yes.
Yeah, everything happens here.
Yeah.
You know, so before you start it, you need to find a way to get to here. You know, be ready for that. Give reasons. You know, reasons dictate results. So whenever you give yourself reasons, your mind works differently.
Right.
So you need to find a reason why you are doing this. You know, yeah, he's beating me. I still want to give, but if I give from a bar heart, I'm not getting anything back. You know, that's God loves a cheerful giver.
Honestly.
Now I'm a bad giver. I'm not a cheerful giver.
I'm not cheerful at all. Not
So
a cheerful
I'm
boy.
I'm not actually getting anything back.
AJ, we don't always give laughing. I'm telling you, we don't always give.
But
God
we
that
don't-
seed
we don't want
laughing.
to,
So
yeah.
David said that I will not give anything to God. It has to cost you. You understand? You not always give laughing.
True.
But like I love what you said. Once you have a reason attached to
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
sometimes the reason might outweigh how you feel for the person. Sometimes the reason might even, as at the time you find that reason, you may not be healed.
Yeah.
You may not be at peace or whatever. But the reason,
The reason will drive you, yeah,
know. So I may be bitter
Yeah.
about
But you
him,
find that,
but the reason,
Yeah, so the reason
would
would
be for my
trump
children.
your
The children.
bitterness. You know,
And
so
it's the
it's
same
it's
children that we might both leave behind.
Yeah. So like I
Because
said,
it's a major surgery.
again,
To cut it
medically,
out,
you need
it's
to-
a major
you need to
surgery.
check. But again, when it comes to this statement where we say we need to check the family members first, no,
Why?
I disagree.
Why?
But they're
Because
family
they-
now.
They didn't say the family and the husband will be one. It says the wife and the man will be one. So it means when you are married, your nuclear family trumps your extended family. You know, so we need to look within first before we look around us. You know, so for me, the solution should come from within. Don't look elsewhere.
Okay.
Because your family members, once you're married, remember this. I keep saying this one. Who is your brother? Your brother is not the one from the same womb.
Right.
many people don't understand. You think your brother, your sibling is the one who you biologically you are related. No. Your brother is the one who thinks about you. The brother is the one he will put their neck on the line for you. Your brother, your real biological brother might not put their neck on the line for you, but your friend might put their neck on the line for you. And Christ said that in there, So once we are one, we may be even closer than my friends or my brothers, So we need to look within, not look elsewhere. Yeah, so it's So for me, it's not easy though, but what I'm saying is, before you do that, if there are no reasons, you do this and still get hurt. When you get hurt, you haven't solved any problem. Now you've brought a lot on your shoulders, So like you said, you need to think about it and know where you stand.
Yeah.
But again, if you're looking at from the biblical point of view and looking at marriage, the two shall be one, it boils down to you first.
Yes, but God also said that love your wife as you love the church.
Yeah.
This is a man who didn't love the wife as he loved the church.
But it doesn't mean you need to pay them back.
I am not paying him back.
So you're paying
God
them.
paid him back.
No, God didn't pay.
How
God,
did
God didn't
I didn't give you the back kidney.
God has some attorneys in the studio. You need to speak up for yourself.
No, God wouldn't pay people back through that.
Yes, but he decided to damage his kidney and everything.
Yes.
And God decided to help him fasten the whole process.
Wow.
That's not how God works.
No, but
It's like that
he did
sometimes.
give him
Yeah,
the
but
push.
again, I'm saying it's not easy. Like, we may be talking, going,
Yeah,
round
it
circles, considering all these ones, but it's not an easy thing.
When put in a situation, it's a completely different ballgame.
Yes.
But then the situation or coming back to brass tacks, and I think we have about 6 minutes to go, so I'll be getting concluding thoughts on both stories.
Yeah. Right.
One is a woman who is deeply in love, clearly, at least from indications, she loves him enough to want to give it to him. She may not be married with him, to him. She's hoping that once this situation is done, they'll get married. She loves him enough, and he seems that he's good enough to receive it.
Yeah.
She wants to do it. Now, the idea of doing it and then possibly losing him at some point in time is something that she has to contend with.
Yeah.
Now, how does she go about? What is your final word to her? What should she do? And our second lady does not want to do it. Does not think her husband is worth the sacrifice. However, he is the father of her kids. The family expects her to do right by him. She is expected by society to do right by him. But she knows he didn't do right by her. How does she proceed? You want to start? Itty, bitty, miny, Bo.
I mean, for me, with the one in the relationship, she's got a lot of questions to ask herself. For me, it comes down to who the man is. Listen, if the man is a good man, supportive, would give what he has to you, I mean, he is proving himself in the relationship. Mother God, I have 2 kidneys. I'm going to give you one.
Preach it.
But if it's been otherwise, you want to really take your time in doing it. And the Bible says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. You don't want to do it because you're expecting him to marry you.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
You want to put your psychological framework to a place where, regardless of what happens, it is your sacrifice that you've done to God and covenant with God with it, so that when anything comes up about your health, when anything, you can remind him that you did this thing for this person in his name, and you can hold him accountable to it. And for the other woman, if she's been able to stay in the marriage, as we are talking, Mama, you are there, we didn't leave and all of that, and you are still within the marriage. Like he said, the 2 shall become one. And the other twist is the Bible says that love is the greatest. This act of kindness to her husband can be something that may change him.
Yeah.
Or may not.
Because the Bible, it may or may not.
Yeah.
But the greater chance is that it can. Because the Bible says that love is the greatest. So while she's doing it, she's a praying woman. She should be praying along with it. She should use the kidney as a point of contact. That as this kidney is leaving me, I have love in my heart. As it enters you, whatever stony heart, let it turn. But I mean, she's in marriage and she has little to do about it. But if medically and all and other conditions is going to be a problem to the situation, she would want to take her time. But love, that acts of love can change her husband for
Okay.
good.
Okay. Miss Jure, what should our first lady do? What should our
for
second
the
lady
first
do?
lady, yeah, I'll do as a neighbor should do. If as she said, if the man has been good to me and is worth my kidney, I would give it to him wholeheartedly, without remorse, without regret or anything. But for the married woman, basically, I think it's my conscience. If my conscience plays me right and I feel I cannot live with myself not giving him the kidney, that's fine. But for a man who didn't treat me like his church, I'm going to betray you at that point. If my conscience, I'm going to be able to leave my conscience that what I'm doing is right. So I'm just going to play with my conscience whether I can live with myself or I can't. We have kids that, unless we have a backup plan that should we both die, the kids will be taken care of. But without that, God worked in my favor.
Preach it. Nana Kwesi says, whether you're married to this person or not, donate because you want to willingly and not because you've been asked. Donate understanding the marriage or whatever relationship can end tomorrow. If kindness is exhibited with expectations, it breeds disappointment when not met. Thank you very much for that, Nana Kwesi on Twitter. But let me come to you, Godwin. What are your thoughts for lady number 1 and your thoughts for lady number 2?
I think they've said it all. For lady number 1, they are not tied yet. So she has to be very careful. And again, she has to check herself medically. I think from the story, she's been cleared, So if she could do from that point of view, I'm doing for a neighbor. There's a royal law. It says love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
So if it's going by the royal law, then that's good. But she shouldn't basically hold on to that. Expecting the man to basically, do a lot of things for her because of what she did. So she should just think about it and know why she's doing it. Number 2, for the second one, once they are married, for me, I still believe that there's a tie, there's a bond. So no matter what's actually happened, you need to do it for your husband. Because if you can't, for me, you may not live with that burden. If he dies, and at some point you also will fall sick and you realize, I had the kidney, I'm dying with another fit kidney. You could have saved somebody's lives, somebody's life. You might not be able to live with that burden. And if you bring it to the mind, when these things happen, they will make you worse off. So you need to consider all these ones. It should come from the marriage first. Look within before you look outside.
You like that? Okay. Well, lady, I hope you have, or ladies, I hope you have the perfect answers to these very, very difficult questions. Because to be in it is very, very different than to be analyzing from the side. But thank you guys so much for coming through. I had the most insightful conversation with Godwin Edu Afo, or God Afo. He's a lecturer, author, and memory trainer. And Pastor Glory Boate, who's a banker and media practitioner. And of course, Miss Jude. But yeah, how can people train their memories? Where did they find you?
Yes, I've got a book. I'm an author as well.
Oh, nice.
I've got a debut book. Miss Judy has read it. It talks about how to improve the mind. If you look at this one, vein and arteries, kids struggling to remember this one. Artery, which one takes blood into the heart away? But if you could type vein, look at it, there's in vein. So into the heart is vein. Away, artery, I tie it to out. So out of the blood. If I get this will form a long-term memory. You don't need to struggle again. So these are some of the techniques we teach kids, students. If you know these one, learning becomes all easy. And we show them what they are doing wrongly. Some people will sit down behind a book 1 hour and not remember anything. Because when you do that, you lose like 50%. So we show them exactly how to learn, So everybody is a genius. Everybody is super.
So long as they get the techniques.
Know the law. If you know the laws to learning, that
then you're good. So how do we reach out? How do we reach out to you?
Yes, I don't know if I could put my number there.
You can.
Yeah, okay. So they can call me on 0558 573422.
0558
573422.
Wonderful.
I think I'll do
Pastor Glory, thank you so much for coming. So wait, a church?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where can we worship with you?
Yes, I attend Royal Victory Family Church International.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, greetings to my spiritual father, Apostle Solomon Ojo.
Wonderful.
He's in China right now, but he's definitely listening. And greetings to my church family as well. We're located at Kwabinya.
We'll come and visit with you. We will. But thank you for being a part of it, Miss Jude. We'll see you next week. My name is AJ Kwakosapon. I hope you enjoyed the show. Our repeat will come through on Saturdays, right here on 3FM 92.7. Lord comes through with the news at 8. And Akofa will come through with Wind Down right after. So stay with us right here on 3FM.